Hey guys, Chris here from Carolette Miniature Horses. This morning is a little bit of a different morning. It's very rainy outside. It's a bit of a dreary day here on the farm, you know, spring showers. I have Sweetheart's grain here. I'm heading down to the barn now to feed her. It's about noon time right now, and I have kept the horses out and allowed them to graze a little longer this morning than usual. Most of the horses stay out, but Clover, however, we have been bringing in earlier in the morning, around usually 11. And like I said, it's a little past 12 now. So you can see Sweetheart is waiting for her breakfast just down there at the edge of the gate. And Clover has also come up. He's getting used to our routine. Usually in the mornings I come, I feed Sweetheart mid-morning. And when she finishes eating, after I have picked the paddock in the back field, that's usually when I bring Clover in. So he's ready just because he's a creature of habit. I can certainly understand that, I being one as well. So time to feed Sweetheart, time to put Clover in the barnyard for the daytime hours. We are still working to restrict the amount of grass he's eating. And because it's raining and overcast today, the sugars in the grasses have not spiked quite as fast as they would on a sunny day due to photosynthesis. So these days are nice because the horses can enjoy a little more grass without fear of overeating or consuming too much of those spring sugars. So I'm gonna put my phone down now so I can attach Sweetheart. Here comes everybody running into the barnyard now. I'm going to go and tie her bucket to the fence so that she can't paw it and knock it over. And then I will get everyone else settled, pop my hood up because it is raining once again, and then I will do a little picking. So thanks for joining. And this is what kind of a rainy day around the farm looks like. But the garden behind me is pretty happy. We've covered our most tender plants. And some of the others, like I think you can see there, we have cabbages and Brussels sprouts. I did not cover those, but the lettuce, the broccoli and cauliflower, which were a little more immature plants, perhaps you could say, I have covered them just to give them a little extra protection. So, alrighty, let me get to it. Feeling pretty good this morning. Hopefully they'll keep the romping around out there in the front. I just put Sweetheart in the feed bin, no, I just put her in the feed lot, sorry. And everyone got a little excited. So, to the back they go. Silly, 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 silly. Whoa. I'm gonna actually see if I can't maybe, I was gonna close them in the ring, but they're still rip-roaring around. Whoa, Shenanigans almost wiped out there. Whoa, whoa. Just closed the gate so they will hopefully just stay here, but they are feeling very good. Rocky was running a moment ago and he wiped out. So hopefully everyone's all right. He looks okay though, but these little guys I have found don't have the best, I don't know if it's balance or their feet just seem to slip out from under them quite a bit, especially when Rocky and Shenanigans get to running. They have been known to take a spill from time to time. The muddy ground, wet ground does not seem to deter them much. You guys are so silly. Oh my gosh, so silly. So silly. So these three are young. Snuggles and Shenanigans and Rockstar, they're young. They're very boisterous. And then Clover, he's the older, sensible type. He's like, no guys, leave me out of this. I'm just gonna watch, happy to be a spectator. I'm with you there, Clover. I'm with you, buddy. You guys are so silly. So silly. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna play Snuggles. I don't know. She's like, can I chew on you? Baby. I do believe Clover might be chasing little shenanigans there. Everybody's feeling good. Hi, Rocky. Hi, sweet boy. These two like to play a lot together. When the minis get to rip-roaring around like that, you can see these giant skid marks behind me. That was when shenanigans came tearing through here. You know, we have these 3 interconnecting lots. We have the backfield, the middle barnyard, and then the ring that they're currently in right now. I've just closed them in there so I can pick in the back without them tearing around. But as they were running through here, shenanigans came up the hill and he just about wiped out. You can see these giant skid marks here. If I can, there they are. There's giant skid marks. And what's a little scary about that is, like, if he had fallen, he could have hit his head on the fence. So my phone is falling out of my wet hands here. But it's kind of dangerous, you know, when they get to rip-roaring around. You know, they say minis get the zoomies, and these guys certainly do. I mean, they're happy and quiet. There they are. They're happy and quiet now that they're grazing, but they really get to rip-roaring around, and makes me a little nervous sometimes. So luckily, everyone's fine. Rocky did fall. He kind of slipped out in the field. I don't think you can see it, but he was out there in that manure area and his feet just slipped right up from under him. I've seen that happen back in the winter time when it was real slick. He's okay. He hopped up. I'll keep an eye on him though, just to make sure he's not sore tomorrow. But they just run around without a care in the wind. So they're just really silly sometimes. I've just grabbed a pair of gardening gloves. I use these when I'm picking. They kind of just help, you know, save my hands. But I love these really thin cotton garden gloves. You know, truth be told, they come from the dollar store. They're super cheap. They don't last that long, but they're thin, they're not hot, and they provide just enough protection. Whether I'm helping my husband with fencing or picking the paddock or doing other odd jobs, I do tend to wear my little handy dandy cotton gloves. So want to grab an extra pair that I keep here in the tack room because I threw my raincoat on today. I did not have my gloves. Usually my gloves are in my vest pocket. So now that I'm prepared with my gloves in hand, I'm going to head back and pick the paddock. And then just as soon as Sweetheart is done eating, I will then turn her and the others in the bottom for the afternoon and close Clover in the barnyard. I'll give him a flake of hay, probably in the stall. He's really smart. He doesn't mind going into the stall. And because of this rain, I'd rather his hay stay dry if possible. So I've got a little picking to do, and then I'll get everyone situated for the afternoon hours. I have Sweetheart here. She's finished eating, and I am just putting her here in the bottom. I have Snuggles out here with me, and I have put, excuse me, the gate was bouncing there. I have taken 2 flakes of hay and I have spread it into 4 piles because they were grazing early this morning. Sweetheart says, I'd like that pile. Because they were grazing first thing this morning for a couple of hours, I have held off on putting the hay out until now. Now that the rain seems to at least be finished up for the moment, if not over for the day. And I'm gonna now get the boys, Shenanigans and Rockstar. They are still back in the ring in the far corner. I'm gonna bring them back here to join Sweetheart and Snuggles with their hay. And then I will put Clover in the barnyard for the afternoon, evening hours. And I will also get him a good flake of hay and spread it into a couple of piles. So let me go grab the boys so that they don't miss out on their hay with the girls. Here are the boys, all 3 of them happily grazing in the farthest corner of the front field. It's a very nice green corner. The grass is coming up pretty nicely here, which is why we want to pull our friend Clover off of the grass. I think I might actually get Rockstar first. He's the black pony here. He's been pretty good about, although maybe everyone wants to follow me. We'll see. Let's see if everyone wants to follow. Guys, you want to come on in? Shenanigans says, I want my morning scratch. I'm gonna have to give him a good scratch. He has been getting a lot of ticks on his neck here and his chest, and he gets really, really itchy. And so he comes up to me in the mornings because he wants his daily neck scratch. And I'll have to check him later for ticks with my gloves and all of his wet fur. It'll be easier when he's a little drier. So, but he got his little scratch for the day. Let me get my shank here, Shenanigans, and we'll see. Might have to still catch somebody. They seem to be happy grazing once again. Clover has voluntarily started to follow us. Hopefully Shenanigans will come along as well. What a good boy, Clover. Clover was good. He followed us into the barnyard. He's very happy over here munching on his hay. He's getting used to our routine, which is great. And Mr. Shenanigans here, who's gonna stop and check everything out, needs to come on up and head to the back where he can have his afternoon hay with his buddies. Hey there, Shan. Sweet boy. I have taken Clover's one flake of afternoon hay and split it into 3 piles. He has a pile right here that he's munching on currently. I've put a third of the pile over here where he can nibble and watch his friends in the back. And then the last little bit of his pile I have put inside the stall. I've noticed during the daytime, afternoon hours, he does come in here and hang out some. So I've put a little bit of his hay right here in the corner, should he want to duck inside and nibble. You know, it's not going to be hot and sunny today, but he might want to. You can see here, this is the left-hand side of our barnyard where we have fenced him off of it. The grass was already a little greener on that side, which is why we enclosed him on this right-hand side. And as you can see, after being out here for about a week, there is very little grass. I mean, there's a little bit, you know, if you really get down close, you can see there is a little bit to nibble on, but not much. It is by and large a dry lot paddock, which will help to keep him a little healthier as we head into the heart of spring now. Here is another look at how much greener this far side of our paddock is, or the barnyard. I use terms interchangeably, so forgive me if it's confusing, but our barnyard here we did split in half, and we've been putting Clover on the far side, which had the least amount of grass to begin with. And now that he's been out there for about a week or a little more, you can see there's very, very little grass for him to nibble on, which is actually what we're going for. You know, we're trying to limit the grass he ingests because of the sugar content in the grass itself. And it is safer for him to stay off of the grass and consume more hay. So that's why he's in this little lot here. But you can see there's a lot less grass on his side than there is this far side, which is absolutely intentional. This area is just getting a little rest, which is good for the grass too. I had hoped to spend a good portion of today grooming everyone really well because they're still beginning the shedding process, and I must admit I didn't do a lot of grooming over the weekend. But because the rains have hung around longer than expected today, I'll probably hold off on giving everyone a really good grooming until tomorrow. And I think I will use this quieter day to do a little bit of work indoors. You know, I've got some cleaning to do, and I might even have to run an errand or two this afternoon. So it's been a good morning, and thank you for tuning in and kind of checking in on us. But it's just been a rainy, quiet day so far. Those days are nice. I do enjoy them sometimes. I love the sun, don't get me wrong, but a quiet, rainy day is not a bad thing. So have a good one.